everybody. So I'm doing this video, I haven't really announced it or anything, but last week I said that I'd do another one of these, and I asked you guys what you wanted to hear about, basically. Hello. Yeah, it's always kind of weird when you first start off doing these because you don't actually know if anybody's going to show up or not. But as I was saying, yeah, so last week I said that I would do another one of these Instagram live videos, and I put up a post with like 5 different topics that I thought you guys might be interested in, and got you guys to vote on what you wanted to hear me talk about. And that sort of backfired really, because everybody's votes were like kind of equally spread out across all the different topics that I'd suggested. So this is kind of going to be like an informal video where I just kind of touch on a few of those topics. Some of them were what I'm working on, what I'm reading, and what was the other one? Anyway, I've got some notes, so I won't go too crazy with you know, rambling, hopefully. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna just start. Let's see. Basically, the first thing I was going to talk about was what I'm working on. And I guess in terms of creative stuff, I'm working on like 3 different things. So the first one is I'm currently outlining the second book in my new series, which I haven't told you guys much about yet. But yeah, so I've been working hard to like brainstorm and outline, because I'm really trying to outline my books better. I don't know if you guys saw some of my videos in the past, but yeah, I said that I didn't really outline the Oromir Chronicles that well, so I'm really trying hard to make sure that this new series, which is a 4-book series, so it's a much bigger undertaking, yeah, I'm trying really hard to outline that really well. So yeah, I've been trying to outline. Oh, and I'm also writing a new prequel story. So for those of you who don't know, I put out at the beginning of the year, I think, a novelette. So it's not quite a novella, but longer than a short story. So it's about 8,000 words. So it's still a chunky little piece. And yeah, that was called A Song in the Deep. And that's a prequel story to my series that's coming out next year. And it's set about 900 years before the events in the main series. So yeah, I kind of gave myself a massive time frame to work with there. But yeah, so this week I've started writing the second one of those, and it's really actually helping me get into the backstories of some of the characters, which it's really fun for me. It's super nerdy but super fun. And yeah, so I've written, I think, about 3,000 words of that so far. And it is split into chapters. So yeah, on the second chapter, and I think it'll be about 10,000 words, and I'm hoping to have that out by July. And that is free, and it gets sent to my mailing list subscribers. So yeah, if you haven't read the first one and you want to, just shoot me an email. It's hello@helenschleurer.com, and I can send you a copy of that. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so on top of outlining book 2 in the series, I'm also preparing to like massively rework the first book in the series. So that's been with beta readers now for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. And what was I saying? I'm so like frazzled. Yeah, that's been with beta readers for about 4 or 5 weeks, and I get feedback from them over the weekend or by Monday. So it's yeah, it's a big task that I'm gonna have to do to like overhaul that manuscript, and I knew that like sending it to them, so I'm expecting a lot of feedback from them. I've also spent much of this afternoon going through the notes that I've made on it, so like things like characterization. I know there are some weak points throughout the story with the different characters, and like having had the manuscript sit there for a while, I've also now thought of different ways like I can improve it. So yeah, basically my notes are about 5 pages long of all the things that I want to fix, and then I'm expecting similar sort of things from the beta readers as well. So yeah, I've definitely been like creatively and like mentally trying to prepare myself for next week when I'm gonna have to sit down and work, like start this massive overhaul of work basically. One of the other things that you guys said you wanted to know was what I'm reading, and I found that this year I've definitely been reading a lot more non-fiction and a lot more fiction outside my genre. Like, so I found towards the end of last year that I was sort of like burning out because I was reading a lot of fantasy, I was writing fantasy, I was editing fantasy. Also through my work with Talon Press, like I've been doing like a lot of just going over and over and over a lot of fantasy manuscripts. So yeah, I found that it helped me pick up like my reading pace, and also just to kind of escape from work when I read stuff that wasn't fantasy. So some of this, I wrote down the list of books that I've read. I've read This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. I've read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Parton. 3 Women by, I think it was Lisa Taddeo. I'm probably butchering that. Fleishman Is in Trouble. The Girl She Was, My Dark Vanessa. See What You Made Me Do, though I haven't finished that yet. I'm about 40% through. Small Spaces by Sarah Epstein. She's just released another book called Deep Water, I think. Gladiator's Oath by Tanya Bird. And those are some of them. I've also read the 3rd book in the Relic Trilogy by Bronwyn Eley, another Talon Press author, and I've read the 2nd book in the Price of Magic series by Wynne. Both of which were awesome, both of which, Bonnie's one is coming out this year if production goes ahead to schedule, and the 2nd book in Bronze, sorry I'm getting confused now, I'm too many books. Bonnie's actually with us at the moment. Hey Bonnie. So yeah, I've read the 2nd book, so the one that comes after The Ninth Sorceress, and if you guys haven't read that, you really should, because it's, I think, probably my favourite fantasy read of the last however many years. It's really, really good, so you should definitely pick that up. And obviously, being the publisher at Talon Press, I was lucky enough to read the 2nd one pretty soon after, so I've read that as well, and that's in copy edits at the moment, I think. Yeah, Bonnie's doing copy edits at the moment, so yeah, it won't be long before I've got the 3rd one, so I can't wait for that as well. But and the other one I mentioned is Bronwyn Eley's book Riven, which is coming out hopefully around August, again depending on how publishing and stuff is affected by all the stuff going on at the moment. But yeah, so I've done a lot of reading, and it's been really good. I've loved getting back into reading. I really loved the book Fleishman Is in Trouble. That was a good one. It was a really interesting depiction of marriage, of like gender roles, of just like, I don't know, I read it like compulsively, so that was really good. My Dark Vanessa was fantastic as well. That, I guess, trigger warning, it has abuse and relationships with minors and things, so very like heavy subject matter, but very compelling and wonderfully written. So those were 2 really good books I've read as well. What else was I going to tell you about? Oh, the other thing people wanted to, hello Zane. The other thing people wanted to know about was some publishing lessons. So yeah, I kind of put all these topics out there and then realised that each one could probably be like a video in itself. So I was going to talk a little bit about one in particular that I've learnt quite recently, and I probably should have learnt it a long time ago. But for me, one like massive lesson that I've learnt lately is don't rush. And I think like for some time, probably since Heart of Mist came out in 2017, I think since then I've felt this like immense pressure to write quickly, to produce books really fast. And yeah, I mean, in part that's my fault. Like it comes from within, you know, like putting pressure on myself. And also, you know, this is what I do full time, so the more books you put out, the more better you are off financially, if they're going well, I guess. But yeah, there is this definite pressure to be producing books, to have a book out at least once a year. I mean, I know indie authors who put out books once a month, and that's just, I mean, incredible for them, but I can't work like that. But so I do feel like this pressure to be producing like high quality work really fast. And so yeah, I mean, I've realized lately that I do need to slow down. I do need to give myself permission to take time with the work. So my the book that's with the beta readers at the moment, I've been sort of mulling that over, but also I think I had in my head, as soon as I got the feedback, I was just going to race through it. It was going to, you know, be with the copy editor by August, I think. And considering this book isn't out until next year, and probably the later half of next year, there's no need for me to like race through it like that, and I think it would be doing the book a disservice. So yeah, I really need to stop myself from rushing. What was it? I've got notes, but they don't make any sense. I wrote them like 2 days ago. Where am I? Preparing myself. Blah, 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 blah. I guess there's also this like pressure from the industry itself. Hello. I have a cocktail being delivered. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you made it really pretty. Look what I have.
Cheers.
Cheers. It didn't go in the frame. Thank you. Oh, that's good. Thank you. So I'm always drinking on these things. Anyway, so this is a gin silver fizz. It's a cocktail I discovered last week, and it's the best thing ever. So I will also let you know that it is 5:17 in New Zealand, so I'm not starting too early. Yeah, as I was saying, there's also definitely pressure from the industry. Like all the big name authors that you hear of, you know, they have a book out at least once a year. So you do have that kind of like looming over the back of your head. But so this is kind of like I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this, but it's basically this tug of war that I have with myself about wanting to put books out, worried that people will forget who I am and that I do publish books and stuff, or they'll get impatient waiting for the next book to come out. Also, a factor for me in particular is Amazon algorithms. So every time you put a book out, it kind of, from my understanding of it anyway, it sort of breathes new life back into your backlist or your catalogue of books that you already had. So if you're not putting books out, you know, quite regularly, that can sort of peter out a little bit. But yeah, basically, don't rush. That's my publishing lesson for today. I have to constantly battle with myself, constantly remind myself that it's not a race, and that the most important thing isn't getting a book out every year. The most important thing is putting out the best book you possibly can. And I think, like in previous years and with the Oromir Chronicles, I definitely felt that pressure to follow up and to, you know, put the book out. Like people were waiting after a time. With Heart of Mist, I didn't really consider any of this, but as soon as that was out and the sequels were due, that's when it started to build up, this pressure of you have to publish every however long, you know. I'm not making any sense now. I did have like a little in general thing. So look at you with your cooked everything. Hi Amy. Yes, this is a what did I call it? A gin silver fizz. It's my new favourite. So yeah, in general, we're in level 3 here in New Zealand. We're still in lockdown. We're hoping to go to level 2 next week, I think, which will hopefully mean that restaurants and bars will be able to be open, and that's super. For people who aren't familiar with where I am, I'm based in Queenstown, and it's quite a small town that's purely based on tourism and hospitality. So a lot of people I know aren't working at the moment, aren't able to. So as soon as we're in level 2, hopefully a lot of my friends here will be able to go back to work, and you know, the place will seem like a little bit more alive again, because it's been pretty much a ghost town. But yeah, so what else was I gonna say? I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about at the moment. Just a general sort of check-in, I guess. Yeah, I would like to know if you guys find these videos worthwhile, if there's things you want me to talk about in particular. I've talked a little bit in the past about how I'm finding social media at the moment, which is pretty overwhelming in terms of just the amount of negative stuff that's on social media. I find that quite exhausting, but also in terms of trying to promote and trying to utilize platforms that I've built from scratch. It definitely feels like I'm shouting out into the void at the moment, and has felt like that for a little while. So these videos, even though I'm not a massive fan at all of being on camera, these videos have been like my way of experimenting with content and trying to engage with people a bit more, engage with my readers. So if you do like these videos and you find them interesting, or you want something in particular, do let me know, because it'll encourage me to actually do this. Like, I decided to do this video maybe a week and a half ago, and it's taken me until now to like force myself to do it. So if I know it's something that people are interested in, then I'll plan these a little bit better, you know, maybe set up some sort of like series if that's what you guys are interested in. It is hard because I've got a lot of like friends and family on these sort of platforms, but also readers from all over the world. So it's kind of hard to, I've just been told that there's insufficient storage or something on that one. I'm doing that thing where I film on 2 different devices, because I've failed every single time to save the video. But yeah, basically do let me know what you think of these videos. If there's something you fancy, let me know. And yeah, basically I hope everybody is safe and sound and enjoying their Friday afternoons. I hope you stay safe and healthy and happy, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I'm gonna go drink the rest of this now. Alright, thanks for watching. See you guys.